I'm always on, scanning for potential threats. I realize, now looking back, how exasperated my hypervigilance is with PTSD. I'm going to share some coping mechanisms that I deal with hypervigilance. But what caused me to do that? It's hard to discuss. It's hard to say out loud. This video is part of a series that explains some of the struggles that we deal with internally. But we don't do it just to show and want sympathy from you. We want to do it so that we can share and become a community of people that can wrap our arms around each other and learn together. Welcome to our home. Today's video is going to be a little bit different as I'm going to go through some things that I suffer with. As we've talked about with Lisa and the things that she suffered on her chronic migraines and some of her social anxieties. But today I'm going to open up with you and I'm going to share with you that I do suffer with PTSD. And for a long time I didn't think that I did. For a long time I thought that's just normal behavior. Other people have it far worse than I do. Amid silent battles, I stand among millions today suffering with hypervigilance. I suffer with hypervigilance daily. Imagine waking up in a world where every little sound, every shadow, every corner, there's a threat or a danger. Today I want to share with you something that many, like me, suffer on a day-to-day basis. And that's being in a constant state of awareness. Imagine feeling like you're always on high alert, always aware of your surroundings. Your senses are turned up to the max. I notice everything around me, every sound, every movement. It's exhausting, but sometimes it has also helped me in situations where I needed to be alert. So let me give you a little bit of history first, as I've come to realize for myself that it is PTSD that I deal with. And a symptom of PTSD is hypervigilance. It's exhausting to be always on. It's exhausting to be alert all the time. And it's hard to turn it off, even when we're in a safe environment. In our home, I hear the neighbors' cars. Which car it is that is pulling in. If I don't recognize that sound of their car, then I'm on alert. I'm going to see. I've got to find out, or at least put myself into protection mode. In my very early years, my dad was instinctively a first responder. Before I was born, that's what he did. He was a first responder. And his job that he worked at, no, he didn't work as a first responder in the public, but the place that he worked at, he was a first responder. I would see him act instinctively when there was a car wreck in front of us on the highway. I've seen bad things from a young age just by watching him react. People being pulled from burning vehicles. Flames running across a highway, hitting another car. Now, not because of his drive, but I ended up becoming a first responder as part of one of my jobs that I worked. I went through a lot of training to be a first responder. I was not in the military. In my younger years, I took martial arts. The sensei that I had was a great sensei. He taught us a lot, and most senseis do. He taught us some extra things that probably most general classes don't go through. During our meditation times, for example, he would have us so focused into that meditative state. But then he would teach us to be observant of our surroundings, even in that meditative state. And then he would create sounds that would make us become aware of what's happening. But he would go down the hall while we're in our meditative state and open and close a door. He would make footsteps. He would change the pressure of the room. Teach us to be aware of surroundings and what noises sounded like in different types of environments. Yes, that's martial arts, and that's a training, and that's a focus, and that's awareness of the situation. This has amplified my hypervigilance. This has amplified my awareness, which makes it even more harder to turn off. Even though I'm no longer in a first responder role, it still affects me. Many years removed from that role, it still affects me. This video is part of a series that Lisa and I are going to take advantage of and explain some of the struggles that we deal with internally. But we don't do it just to show and want sympathy from you. We want to do it so that we can share and become a community of people that can wrap our arms around each other and learn together how to get through the struggles that we face. I'm going to share some coping mechanisms that I deal with hypervigilance. Lisa will share some of her coping mechanisms that she shares with her social anxieties and her chronic migraines. I realize, now looking back, how exasperated my hypervigilance is with PTSD. It impacts even the simplest moments when Lisa and I go out just for a date, just for a stroll in the park, just to be together. I'm up here. My brain goes into overdrive. I'm counting cars. I'm counting people. I can tell you what everybody around me is wearing. I can tell you if they're within earshot. I can tell you all of their conversations that are going on, plus keep up with Lisa and I's conversation. I'm always on, scanning for potential threats. But what caused me to do that? What caused me to be in that such high alert? It wasn't because of the martial arts that I took. That was just a training to help me focus. But it was exasperated once I become a first responder. And I'm going to share some hard stories with you. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of details, but just imagine with me. This is not something that you've ever witnessed or been a part of. I hope you never do. And this video is just about sharing what it's like to be someone who deals with PTSD that is exasperated, or that is heightened awareness, that is that situational awareness that just never turns off. So stay with me as I share a few stories. These are real life experiences that has happened while I was a first responder. I remember more than once the chilling calls that came on. And as I'm on the phone with that person, and I'm hearing their last words, I'm hearing their last breath as the gun goes off. More than once this has happened as a first responder. Imagine talking to a young girl who's in her home that's supposed to be her safe environment. And you can hear through the phone the banging and the breaking of doors as an intruder comes in. And then her last screams as the line is disconnected. Sorry. This is hard to come back. There are also moments where I have given life-saving instructions to someone as their loved one has become unresponsive. Some of those people I knew personally, yet I still had to maintain. This is hard. It's hard to discuss. It's hard to say out loud those experiences. As I'm recalling them, it's hard. And I'm trying not to scare you. Because of those calls, like the young girl being at home by herself and then taken, it makes me grab hold of my loved ones as we're walking through crowds. I hold hands tightly. I'm watching everything around me. Just another experience that some of you, if you're in a first responder state, a public servant state, police, law enforcement, firefighting, you've been to that door and you've knocked on that door with uncertainty as to what's on the other side. You've been on the radio knowing that your partner, one of your fellow co-workers, has checked out at a location. And you haven't heard from them. They're not responding. If you haven't, it's a gut-wrenching feeling. But not just when we go out into public am I aware of this. It's in quiet moments too. I know the different sounds the cars make as they drive by our house. I don't have to look out the window and know that the neighbor that's across the street just got home. I don't have to know that their kids are out playing. But I do hear them. And I have to close it out. Come. It's heightening of my senses that provides my need to feel like I should protect. When we are out together, I am walking behind everybody. I am making sure that everybody is in a tight path and we are on point to where we're supposed to be going. Because there are so many people and so many things that are going on that I have to make sure that I can see everybody in my family. I'm watching, since I'm in the back, I'm watching the six. I'm watching our backs as we're traveling through. I'm holding on to my niece or my nephew, my wife, when it's in crowded spaces. Let's go. Let's move through. I can tell you as I'm traveling down the interstate how many different types of cars that we pass, and within a circle of us driving down the same path, what cars and what they're doing. I've read their license plates. I know about how many are in each car. My alert is here all the time. We go to the beach and we're trying to relax and enjoy the beach. I've counted how many kids are with each family. I am keeping up with their whereabouts along with ours. When one child from another family goes too far off, I say to the parents, I'm sorry, I can't help but notice that your child has gone that far away. I go out into the ocean and I don't just relax and lay down in the water and let it float happen. I can't do that. I'm standing at the edge looking at the beach. I'm standing in the waves looking at the beach, scanning. It's a constant battle against fear. It's a constant battle against uncertainty, the threats that could be there, the dangers that could happen, the accidents. It has come into play where I have had to use those skills that I know. When an elderly person falls and busts their head open at a restaurant. When there's an accident that happens in front of you and you're the only one there. When someone slips in front of a building on a busy sidewalk and busts their face, who else is going to do it? When a crowd of people, no one knows what to do. I have to respond. That's my duty. But is it? Yes, the Bible talks about the Good Samaritan. And that is one of my guiding principles, to help those that are in need. But I'm no longer certified to be a first responder. I'm no longer certified to protect people. But what I can do with the skills that I do know is I can get to a point where I can say, 911, they're on the way, and get the people that are certified here to help. It reminds me of the resilience and the skills that I have. But I don't always have to have it on. It's just hard to turn off. The many years that I have been out of the first responder role, these stories still come back to me. This high alertness is still there. But when I'm feeling on edge, 3 things that I can do to help not pack down, not push down back into come back for later, but 3 things that I can do. First is putting my faith in God. and taking a moment to just pray. It doesn't have to be a long prayer and you have to stop everything and sit down and take a prayer. If that's what you need to do, great, do it. But just pray. Turning to God in those situations can provide immediate peace for me. Knowing that He is in control of all situations. And that His will happen. I can rest in peace knowing that God is going to protect me and my loved ones. It provides a sense of reassurance. If possible, number 2 is to remove myself from the situation. I've been in shopping malls where it gets so intense with the people around me that I've had to tell Lisa, I've got to walk out. While walking into a store with Lisa, I have encountered so many things. Before we even walk in the store, I know what the perfumes are. I know what the smells are. I know what the environment feels like walking into the room. What everybody is doing. How many people are in this group, and this group, and this group. I go back and sit in the corner while Lisa walks around. And a lot of husbands do that. They go find a place to sit down and just relax. I don't just relax. I've got my eye on Lisa and my family. And I'm watching them as they are moving around the store. And if I can keep my eye on her, I'm not keeping my eye on that person that's putting garments of clothes in their purse. I'm not watching the person over here that's on their phone while this person over here has got an eye on them. When we go into a grocery store, I can see that guy over there is watching that woman's purse in that buggy. I have to remove myself from the situation. But not just removing myself from the situation. One, you may not be able to. But also, if you can or cannot remove yourself from the situation, but I start breathing. Deep breaths and releasing. Deep breath and releasing. I focus on my purpose of being there, which is to enjoy time with my family, or just to get in, get out. How many of you men have a to-do list in the grocery store and you're in, boom, 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 you got it and you're out? Well, of course, that's me. I've got a list and I go into the store, get my things, and I'm out. I need to go in and get out, because if I'm not focused on the task, then I'm in alert. My alert is already high at the beginning, and if I don't focus on my task, it's going to go through the roof. So I take deep breaths and I begin to breathe and I focus on the purpose for being there. If we're in a restaurant and we're enjoying a family meal together. Yeah, I've already sat at the very back of the corner with my back to a wall where I can see the front and I've got everybody scanned. But then I take my breath. The third thing that I have learned to do is to ground myself in the environment. This grounding technique is kind of instrumental in hypervigilance. By focusing my senses on the moment, I'm taking my eyes off of things that are happening. What is my hands touching? Recognizing, do I have my hands in a tight grip? And then releasing. Am I gritting my teeth? Knowing that I am in control of what I can handle. And letting go of what I can't handle. What I can't control. Being mindful of the senses that I have, that I can control. I can control my hands from being so tense and tight and up. I can control my teeth from grinding. In the end, what really matters is enjoying the family moments that we have together. Enjoying those precious times that we're together as family. Understanding that with those experiences that I have in my first responder days, how precious life is. How important it is to be with your family. You never know when life may take them from you. I did not mean for this video to be kind of dark, but it had to be said. This channel is not about being dark. This channel is not about hypervigilance, PTSD, social anxiety, but it's those struggles that Lisa and I have as the two of us are together. This channel that you've come to watch today is about family values, health, and wellness. It's about sharing with you. We want to share our life experiences. We want to share our family values, the foundational values that we hold dear. We want to help you so that hopefully we can build a community of people who are wanting to do the same. If you are watching this video and you suffer with symptoms of PTSD, I want you to reach out. You can reach out to us. We will provide to you some communications with others. We want to wrap our arms around you and hold you dear, but we're going to provide the help that you need. You are not alone. I just shared with you things that I haven't shared with maybe 2 or 3 people in my life. Many other people struggle with hypervigilance every day, just like me. It's a silent battle that goes unnoticed to those that are around us. But it's real, and it's incredibly challenging to navigate. But there are strength in shared experiences. So together, we can share and cope together and provide support for one another. If you are struggling with hypervigilance, PTSD, know that it's okay to reach out for help. You deserve understanding and compassion as you navigate through this constant state of awareness. If you're seeking encouragement from others who are searching for wholesome family values, subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. Follow us. We want to share that with you. We want to build a community with you. But this channel isn't always about this. We have fun on this channel. We go have adventures together. We share in our heartaches together. We cook together. We enjoy life. And that's what we want to share with you, is enjoying life. Along the way, we're going to share tips and experiences from our struggles, how we cope with them. But along the way, we also share some things that you can do, sharing insights and experiences on how to live life to the fullest. And if that's something that you enjoy, we want you to subscribe to the channel. We want you to be involved with us. Together, we will experience growth. Together, we will experience a connection. That's what we will do as this community. Let's make every moment count. Please know that you can reach out to us. But for now, I'm going to close this video. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.